Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we'll be debunking some of the common medical myths that have either been superstitions or just false information floating around on social media. Today, I have a very good friend of mine with me, a pharmacist and podcaster, Aunty Pharmacist, or should I say, the awesome and beautiful face behind Aunty Pharmacist Podcast. Hello, baby.
Hello, Femi. It's so nice to meet you. And hello, guys. Nice.
Yeah, so good to have you here. And without any further ado, I feel we can dive right in. There's a common myth of drinking 8 ounces of water per day, like 8-ounce glasses of water per day, and I feel this is a common myth going around, especially amongst those that are frequent in the gym and try to work out and get really active. So I don't know, maybe you could just give us your take on that. They are overweight or they are just skinny and looking to get maximum gains in the gym. So what do you think about this?
I think that the person that started that myth, or should I call it rumor, was just trying to encourage, hydration. That everybody should drink water. But I
Yeah.
don't think it said it must be 8 ounces per day. That is not a fact. That's a myth, like you rightly said. The fact is that everybody needs to hydrate well daily. Our requirements for water differ due to various factors: energy consumption, the climate, the kind of things that we do. So it doesn't have to be 8 ounces per day. You understand?
Okay.
There are
Yeah, I
many
get you.
countries that do not measure water in ounces. How do you know what volume to consume? Take as
Yeah.
much water as you require per day, as long as it will not disrupt any of your activities. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody dying of taking too much water. Or have you? So take as much
Well,
water as you need.
I haven't also.
I do. That is the goal. No, it doesn't have to be 8 ounces. It may be
Yeah.
less if that is your goal for the day.
I
Way
believe
over that.
it varies even with the weather. Like the current
Exactly.
climate in Nigeria now, all of us happen to drink more water during this Harmattan period than the rainy season.
Yeah.
So a lot of
I
factors
do
could
too.
affect. Yeah, that is true. And I also feel body weight might also come to dictate
Yeah.
what they
And
need.
kind of work you do, you can't expect somebody that does office work now to consume the same amount of water as somebody who stays under the sun for most part of the day. Or
Yeah,
does,
that's true.
work. So it doesn't have to be 8 ounces. The person that started that just wanted people to hydrate. So that's the message from that myth. Hydrate, drink enough water every day, as much as you require.
Yeah, that's good. Moving on to the next. There are some cultures or some people, I don't want to call them cults, that believe they should eat the placenta of their children after giving birth. That sounds absurd in this
What?
part of the world, but
Ah.
it's just one of the myths, especially with the whites, these Caucasians and all. It keeps on popping up in their own space. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Me, personally, I think that is kind of barbaric. How will you eat your child's placenta? Why? What I know about placenta is that they are buried, okay?
Yeah.
And because is what connects the mother to the child. So it's like you're eating a human part. So I don't think, but I know that animals actually eat their placenta just to keep it safe from other ones that could eat it. I don't know for what purpose. Maybe those that practice it, they took it up from their ancestors who used to do that in the past, or maybe whatever traditional purposes. But that is a myth as far as I'm concerned. It's not a fact. There's no scientific evidence backing or making it all right to eat children's placenta. What I know is they are buried, and a decay, just like every human part. So no eating of
Yes,
placenta
I
affects.
feel that is low-key cannibalism. It's quite
Quite
awkward.
so I don't even understand.
So I guess those people with those train of thoughts, they possibly felt they should eat this particular, well, the placenta after giving birth because they see some animals doing it. And obviously, it's not everything we see animals doing that we can replicate, rather. Yeah. So, moving on to the next, there's a myth that says the heart skips a beat while sneezing. I would love to know your thoughts on that.
Well, I think the person that started that myth would maybe thought that their heart skipped a beat when they did, sneeze. You know, sneezing takes a lot of energy from you. It's something that happens suddenly most times. So I guess that's why they thought that, but it's actually a myth. No scientific evidence suggests that the heart skips a beat. When we say skip a beat, it's not like the heart stops, right? If it's skip a beat, it might be true to an extent. The heart has rhythm, what we call our heartbeat, the number of
Yeah.
beats per minute and all. So when that thing happens, an electrical activity happens in the body, and the rhythm of the heart may become faster than it was before, which is normal. Just like when you're running, your heart starts, beating faster. That sneezing is an activity that is like it takes your body from one threshold to a higher one suddenly. It's possible that your heart actually beats faster, but that it's keeping a beat, that is not true. No scientific evidence suggests that. But that the rhythm of the heart changes, of course, it's very possible when it sneezes. So that's it about that keeping a beat. The heart does actually not keep a beat, actually beat faster. The rhythm of the heart increases during that sneeze. That's my opinion,
Oh,
though, and I think that's the
yeah.
best part.
That makes sense. And there are just some things people say out there that without really thinking about it critically, you could just take it hook, line, and sinker without
Exactly.
even second guessing.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
these myths are because of either somebody's experience that they shared with somebody and the other person takes it as fact, or just an hypothesis. It means to just explain something away, or it means to stop people from doing something. That's how myths start too now. All these fairy tales that we see. So
Yeah, that's true.
um everything should be based on research, especially as it concerns our health, so that we
Yeah,
don't do something that will harm us, thinking that it is actually benefiting us. You understand?
true. That is very true. While you were talking, something came to mind. I saw something on TikTok, like I think a year ago, and a lady was saying when people have like sudden heart attacks, they should cough, like like cough multiple times. I don't know if you've heard
And
that.
that they're back, right?
Like maybe it could just possibly help. I don't know.
Well, medically, cough is a reflex action. Is most times it's not something that you do by yourself. If you do that, that's not really a cough. That's just like a reaction because your body must initiate it, not you initiating it. All those ones that that's just clearing your throat. You're not coughing. You must cough. The body must initiate it. There is a threshold,
Okay.
like I say,
So it can't really
threshold of
affect the blood pressure at
what?
all. It can't really
Yes,
affect
there
those
is
having
intensity
sudden heart
that
attacks.
comes with. There's an intensity that comes with coughing, but when you have an heart attack, coughing is the last thing because your body will not do that. And you doing it
Sure.
by yourself, you will not even be capable of that at that point. Heart attack is myocardial infarction. Your heart suddenly stops beating. So your body does not really function. So you thinking of coughing at that point, it doesn't
True,
work.
true.
And whatever cough you're able to produce, even at that time, is not cough. You understand?
Yes. I
So
get
it
that.
doesn't do anything.
That just
Give
came in by the way.
and it's forceful just to make sure the heartbeat. A cough cannot increase your heartbeat
Okay.
at that point.
Again.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my take on it.
So, how about this next myth that adults have fewer bones than babies?
Well, medically, the reverse is actually the case. Children have more bones than adults. We know that adults have about 206 bones in our body. Children have more than that actually. When we are growing, that these bones continue to merge together, fuse together, get stronger, then we reduce as we grow. Babies have more.
That is true. So adults have fewer bones than babies. Yeah. I think more reason why one should even be careful while handling those precious little jewels.
Yeah. Exactly. So that you don't go and break those bones. As many as they are, they're actually fragile.
Yeah. So moving on to the next. There's a myth that says the body automatically flushes toxin. Is it true or is it false?
This myth is actually true.
Okay.
The body flushes toxin itself. Like nature has a way of doing things. Like on one of my podcasts, I mentioned that food itself is medicine. God has made it such that your body is sufficient to do what it's supposed to do. You don't need, all those bitters to start saying you are flushing something out of your system. There are systems for that in your body already. There is the kidney for toxification, for removal of unwanted materials or substances. There's the liver for detoxification, for metabolism. Those are the ones that flush out unwanted materials from your body. Your digestive system also does some of that, by flushing out unwanted waste products of food. So when you eat healthy, you drink enough water, you eat enough fruit and vegetable, you exercise, your body does all the work for you. You don't need any extra thing to start flushing your system. But it's when you do not treat your body right, you do not eat right, that's when you may require all these detoxifiers and all of that. Because waste have accumulated, your kidney function has reduced, your liver function is not at the optimum, then you might need something to help you detoxify. That's why people with kidney issues now require dialysis, what the kidney should have done by itself. So your body is enough to detoxify itself if you treat it right. So that's the fact.
Okay, that's nice. Moving on to the next. There's a myth that says eating balanced diet eliminates the need for vitamins in forms of supplement.
Yeah, about that, I would say I partially agree. That myth is right to an extent. Okay? Eating a balanced diet, yes, but there are some things that you not get from your normal diet. And what do we consider balanced diet? You must have all 6 classes of food, including water, right? But
yes,
this day and age, people do not really eat balanced diet, because if you want to eat well, you should consider it like an event. You should have all those 6-course meals, 3-course meals, your entree, your vegetables, your food. But how many people actually do that? So if we say eat balanced diet, eat little vegetable there. Even the quality of these things you eat, that's another topic. Are they GMOs? Are they organically produced? Are they fertilizer made? All of those things. Are they preserved in the house? So that could have eroded the nutrients you actually needed from that food. Even the cooking process could have removed all those nutrients, those vitamins and minerals. So at the end of the day, you would still require supplements, especially when you do your routine checks and you see that, you are deficient of this vitamin or that. And it's not like you're not eating balanced diet. You understand? So you might need supplements along the way. But the first thing is be mindful of what you eat. If you're mindful enough, okay, you combine diet and exercise, you should not require too many supplements. Let me put it that way, too many. A supplement of multivitamin per day might be helpful for you. And folic acid, for example, in pregnant women, you can't supplement that with balanced diet.
Yes.
You can't get folate from your food, even as we are. Only that we do not really require it for many bodily functions, except during pregnancy, in which the fetus needs it for brain development. That's why pregnant women must use folic acid. And you and I may not use it and we are fine, even though we do not get it from our food. So there are times that we believe we are eating balanced diet, but it's actually not. So if
True.
you are intentional with the nutritionist, you are sure that these vitamins are present in what you are eating, you may not need supplements. But if you are not really sure of what you're eating, a multivitamin capsule per day might be helpful for you.
That is just amazing, and you just nailed it. The only little addition maybe I might have is, unless the person has special health conditions that might prevent absorption, and let me first give you maybe a round of applause here because I don't know if you can hear the soundboard. So, like, except other factors like age, gender, special health condition, kind of maybe create a certain necessity that you have to be taking like some specific supplements every day. I feel like you said it's better to check with one's healthcare provider. Yeah. So moving on to the next myth, MSG. I'm sure we all know MSG. So there are some that say MSG is addictive. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I didn't get that.
MSG, monosodium glutamate. Some believe or have believed in time past that it's addictive, especially I think something to do with these Chinese restaurants and all of that. I'm not so sure. But what could you say about that?
Well, for MSG, I haven't come across any research that says that they are addictive. What I've come across is that they actually pose some health risks that consume too much of them. So I think what is required is moderation in everything. But if your health requires that you go, bland, like people with diabetes, for example, or some health conditions, you can go without it. I don't think they're addictive. It's just people's choices that they release some neurotransmitters. Of course, when we eat something sweet, we feel good. When we eat something tasty, feel good. Do you understand? You want more of it, but that doesn't result to addiction. It's something you can actually do without. There are people that go fasting, right? White fast for days without tasting this thing. They have any withdrawal syndromes? No.
Of course not.
So it's not. It's just something that people like because of how they taste. But people can actually still do without that with discipline. And you can reduce the amount you take. If it's about adverse health, conditions like diabetes, like some kinds of cancers, even, say yes, MSG has those disadvantages. But in terms of addiction, I don't think so. That's it.
So the next myth on the list, there's a myth about GMO and organic food. That I guess organic is better than genetically modified food or all of that. I don't know if you can shed a little bit of light, and I could also add my own 2 cents.
Well, my take on that is that the organic is better than GMO. Yes, I know I might be playing the devil's advocate here. Everybody expects that organic is better, organic is natural. But how many of those organics are actually natural? Some of these they use fertilizers to produce them. And some they use preservatives on them and they claim them to be organic. So some of the nutrients you are supposed to get from them have been degraded, even through the preservation sometimes. But genetically modified organisms or plants or substances, call them, that you consume, some of them, they were deliberately made to produce some essential nutrients that you might need. What's the goal of you consuming them? Is to get those nutrients from them. So if they genetically modify them to benefit you, I think they are not the bad boy, they are not the culprit. So it depends. If they genetically modify them to harm you, then you can say GMOs are bad all through. But they use science to enhance these nutrients so that people can get more of them. Some are produced in very minute quantities in nature. The GMOs, they make sure that they produce them in higher quantities so that people can get them. So GMOs are not always bad, and organic foods are not always good. So that's my take on it.
Okay, that seems to explain it all. On to the next myth.
That's what we have.
Yeah. So there's a myth about this flu shot. I don't think the flu shot is really popular in Nigeria, but there are some people that believe receiving this flu shot causes the flu. Or if I'm to expand on that, some people might believe taking a vaccine can cause a certain illness you are trying to prevent. So what do you have to say to that?
About that, I've always been an advocate of vaccination. In my podcast, I have 2 episodes on vaccination, how important it is. And vaccines
Beautiful.
as they have saved humanity till now. All those
Yes.
things that used to kill people in the early 18th, 17th centuries. Now we have vaccines against them.
Sure.
Vaccines are not bad. Okay, taking flu shots will not give you a flu because the organisms they use in this vaccine, they are either killed or attenuated. Attenuated, it means their virulence have been deactivated. They are not supposed to cause illnesses in you. Hardly will you say a vaccine that will cause an illness. Any reaction you're having after vaccination is the normal body reaction to a foreign object, which will
Yeah.
subside over time. Pain at site of injection, some fever, okay, that is activating your immune system already. And after a few days, you're fine. So a flu vaccine will not give you the flu. A COVID vaccine will not give you COVID, okay? Or any other vaccine for that matter will not give you that illness, except there's something the person that vaccinated you telling you, okay? If you're immunocompromised, you might have some illnesses, but hardly will you get from vaccines because they make sure that they are the lowest possible concentration to cause any illness. That's the truth about it. Flu vaccines will not give you, right?
Okay. So that is good to know. And moving on to the next, there's a myth that states the ears never stop growing.
Actually, I've heard of that. People say it a lot.
So I don't know, but I feel like
Well,
it is quite possible, but that would seem very absurd.
how do we measure it?
That's the
Who was the
thing.
one that said, yeah. And what do you think about it? Do you think it's true? Femi?
Oh, well, I feel even if it grows continuously throughout life, it is not really noticeable. Like, if we are being honest,
It's not,
like
it's
it's
not
not
really what?
it's not something really noticeable. Like,
Yeah.
it's not growing at an exponential pace, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, you're right. And that's true, really, because science has shown that some parts of the hair actually grow, but you can't see it. It's not like you now be seeing as you are growing, your hair is growing bigger. No, the hair lobe actually continues growing throughout life, but it's in very tiny, minute, you know, degree. It's at a very minute degree that you might not even notice it. But it's science that tells us, research, that the earlobe actually grows. But other parts of the hair, like the cartilage, the hard part, and all, they don't grow once you are an adult. That has stopped. But the lobe may just grow a little, but you won't even know. So that is it
True.
for our hair growing. So it's not totally a lie.
And it's not something
Yeah,
to make
because-
people self-conscious.
Like I said, it's not noticeable. So you will not even know.
Exactly. So, well, back to the vaccine talk. There are some religious people that feel maybe taking vaccines cause autism or just some other side effects.
I think you already addressed that with the flu issue.
Yeah,
Vaccines
yeah.
are
I
supposed
think
to
the
help
autism
content.
thing is more popular in the
And
West because
ASD,
the
autism spectrum disorder, it's a gene mutation, genetic mutation. It happens
but
from the fundamental. Genes are inside your cells. So
yeah,
it's not a vaccine that will cause it. It's not a
sure,
microorganism in
sure,
little amount, just your immune system that will go and cause autism. No.
yeah,
Anybody spreading propaganda about vaccination, they have their reasons. All those
exactly.
they use it for manipulation and all of that. Those are propaganda. Go and do your research very well. Look at the process of vaccine production and the centuries since vaccines have been used. The world is still existing today. No country has been recorded to be wiped out due to vaccination. Nobody has come out
Sure,
and said, I received this vaccine and my child had autism. So no, vaccine is just the easy prey. Let me put it that way.
sure, sure. Although there's something that also came to mind about this COVID-19 that just passed a few years ago. I feel like there's a whole lot of controversy and ESA going around, and even medical experts from the United States are saying, some are saying we never needed the vaccine in the first place, and others are saying it was needed. So I don't know. Maybe what's your opinion on that?
COVID-19 vaccine is another topic on its own.
Yeah,
It's a thing. Do you understand? There are
yeah,
many political undertones, many, you know, international relation undertones to that.
yeah,
So
true.
many people can say stuff, and you see that
Even
even it
profit.
developed
Some
also
companies were
under
also
question.
chasing profit, so that comes
Do you
into
get
the equation.
what?
I said some companies were also looking to make so much money off of the
Of
scare and
course,
all of that.
vaccines are still some kinds of medicines. They are preventative medicines. So even if vaccines are free, they are produced with money, okay? And there are
Yeah,
people that actually pay for it, even if they are free. They are being paid for by somebody. Do you
sure,
understand? Like this vaccine that just got to Nigeria through UNICEF and the Vaccine Alliance, Gavi. Those are the ones paying for it. Only that the people, the end users, are getting it for free. So there's a profit thing in the picture. But COVID-19 vaccine is another thing. It's a huge matter. Like I said, political undertone, a lot of international relations thing, and the speed with which it was produced is under question. So that is a matter that cannot be exhausted here. You cannot say COVID-19 was needed or it wasn't needed. There were people that got
true.
it, the vaccine, and they are still alive today, did not die. There were people that got it and claimed that their hands were running bulb. But where are they today now? They have not come out that they are still running that bulb. So a lot of things, when things of that magnitude happen, a lot of propaganda comes up, a lot of
Sure,
misinformation. There are a lot of people too that are looking to gain from those misinformation or destroy reputation of some people. There's a lot of things about COVID-19 vaccine. There are people that did not get the vaccines, they are still alive today. They had the COVID, they recovered. So it's something that was not totally understood, but people had to just rise to the occasion at the time. Do you understand? And
yeah,
vaccines
that's true.
usually require a long time to produce for it to be well accepted without question. I think there's a lot of things at play in that one. So I don't have too much to say about that. I think I've said all I can concerning
Yeah,
COVID-19.
lovely. You've done it justice. So the next meet on the agenda is hand washing versus hand sanitizers. Like which is better in, and we also have to examine different scenarios, and like in general, just the best, like the best
I
method of
think,
cleaning one's hands.
yeah, I think towards the end of the myth that you were saying it, you have already even answered the question. The scenario matters, okay? Both are to sanitize your hand, to
Yes.
wash away the microorganisms that may cause infections or all of that. So all are nice, they are required. You could finish washing your hand and still sanitize at the same time. Not so much. You could either use the sanitizer or wash your hand with soap and water. Depends on the location. What if you are in a place that you don't have access to water and a hand wash or a hand washing soap? What do? You can use your sanitizer. Sanitizers are supposed to contain antiseptics. Okay, at least 80% of antiseptics. It can contain even up to 98 or more percent of antiseptic alcohol and all of that. Yeah, to kill, the purpose is to kill microorganisms on your hands. Okay, so if you find a good soap that can do that, fine. And if sanitizer has enough antiseptic to kill the microorganisms, fine. One is not better than the other in my opinion.
Okay, lovely. Although I'm slightly biased towards washing of hands with soap and water anyways, but I know both will do just fine,
Okay.
depending on, just for my own personal self, not for anybody, you know.
Yeah. And preference could come into play, but like I said, what if you're outside, not close to any tap?
That's true.
It will kill the germs, render them inactive, and that's the end goal, right?
True. So, on to the next myth. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. One of the most popular, is it quotes or phrases
No,
of this generation?
since I was a girl,
You said?
I've been hearing that since I was a small girl.
Exactly.
At the point, I even thought it was a poem or something, like
Yeah,
an idiom. English idioms. Yes, it was part of them. An
yeah.
apple a day. Well, I believe that it's just a play upon words. It's rhyming. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's a
Yeah.
rhyme. It's a fact. Yeah, it's not a fact. You can't eat one apple every day and say you not go for your routine medical checks or you never see a doctor. That's a lie. We all know that. An apple is just one fruit. Okay. What about your balanced diet? What about your water? What about living healthy, not smoking, not drinking, alcohol in excess, exercising? All those things are what keeps the doctor away. And the doctor is not a bad person too. So you should not always want to keep the doctor away. The doctor might give you medical advice. You should go at least once in a year, at least even twice to your general body check. So don't aim to keep the doctor away. You want actually to live healthy, eat a balanced diet, exercise, sleep well, hydrate, avoid substances that can damage your organs. You're fine. You can also add eating an apple a day to the
To the next myth. Milk gives strong bones. What do you have to say on this?
This myth started with all these advertisements for milk, right? You see them strong bones even on their cartons.
Yeah.
Well, I would call it a myth through and through because there's a fact in it. Yes, it does give strong bones because milk are known to be natural sources of calcium and even vitamin D, which are good for bone development. Okay, so they actually are good for strong bones, but it's just that it's not only milk that gives bone the strength. Okay, it needs other vegetables, other minerals.
Sure, leafy greens.
So if you are taking milk and you think that that's all you need for strong bones, then you are wrong. Or if you are taking milk, hoping that it will help develop strong bones, you're right. But just not milk alone.
I guess why they say that is it's probably a source of calcium and vitamin D.
Yeah.
So, but well, there are also other sources of these two compounds. So the last but not the least, sugar causes hyperactivity, especially in children. Even some adults also say this, that I'm having sugar rush. And I'm like, what?
What do you think of that, Femi? Do you think that's true? Have you ever had sugar rush?
Well, I haven't actually. Anyway, there might be a sudden increase in one sugar level, especially let's say if you take things that contain the raw glucose. For example, like you can have this burst of energy, or maybe you've been hungry for a while and you have this drink that contains sugar. It can definitely give you energy, but not hyperactivity that like children just start playing around, messing with things, can't be stable and all of that. That's what I think anyways.
Right. I hear that a lot. It's more in children. They'll say, I don't give them sugar. They start behaving apparently. It's actually not true. Maybe they're just happy because they got to taste something sweet and nice.
Yeah.
But sugars do not cause hyperactivity. Actually, actual researches have been done on this by various bodies in various institutes, and they all arrived at the same conclusion. Sugars do not cause hyperactivity. They compared children that were given sugar and those that were not given sugar, looking at their activities and energy levels, and they were the same thing. So don't say because you don't want your children.
I guess children are just always active.
Sugar for other reasons, maybe tooth decay or all of that. Then you can say, but not for hyperactivity. Something like sugar rush. That is it. Okay.
It's a myth. Yeah. That is true. I believe kids are just always overly active.
Yeah.
You said?
I said there's this myth about chocolate too, Chocolate, of course, contains sugar. There's something similar to that. If you eat chocolate, you have this feeling of not hyperactivity.
I think it increases libido or something.
What?
Some people say eating chocolate increases libido. Or their sex drive. Yeah, libido.
No,
I've heard that.
Some drugs that are made in form of chocolate.
Oh, okay.
And they are for that purpose.
Probably that's where that myth came from.
Chocolate. Not the normal chocolate. Those do not increase sex drive, as far as I know, from research or anything. But there are drugs for increased libido that are made in form of chocolate. Maybe those are the ones those people are talking about. But the one I'm talking about is this happy, happy feeling, like when you are sad, just eat.
Oh, yeah.
I will not call it a myth though, because actually there's this happiness that comes with eating chocolate. I've tested it many times.
I guess it's possibly something to do with maybe one of the neurotransmitters.
Yes. When you eat chocolate, you just feel better. I've tested it, and that's not a myth. When you eat chocolate, you just get this happy feeling. That is very true. Chocolate. Then there's this other thing about chocolate I heard too, about them causing acne. That one, no research has shown that chocolate causes acne. Okay? They don't. There are other things at play that cause acne. The whole bacteria, sweat, cause blockades of those things together, but not chocolate.
Good to have you, Aunty Pharmacist Podcast, like the founder, or should I call you the creative mind behind the podcast?
There's one more. Hello? There's one more.
Okay. I'm listening.
Or is it the carrot one and the STI one and Amplicox also?
I don't have them on my notes here, but we could easily discuss that. I think there's a myth about carrots increasing or making one's eyesight better.
Prevent.
Okay, I said there's a myth on carrots making people's eyesight better.
Yeah, I think that myth, the myth is actually that carrots give night vision. Yes, night vision.
Okay, night
Of course,
vision.
carrots contain carrots contain vitamin A, so they will make your eyesight better. Not eating it once in every 3 months, or eating it regularly. Yes, yes, but it's not like they give night vision. Nothing like that. They do not work for night blindness. They just improve your eyesight over time, but not for night vision. So if you are hoping to see very well at night and you are consuming a lot of carrots, good luck to you. But that's actually not. No, it's not research. No research has ever confirmed that.
Okay, that is true. So, how about the myth on Amplicox you mentioned?
What?
You also talked about a myth on Amplicox and
Yeah.
antibiotics, I think.
I have seen a lot. Working in community practice for years, people just come and give me one capsule of Amplicox. And of course, you know what they want to use it for.
Sure,
They have
sure.
had fun sex and they want to prevent STI in their own mind. But when you think of STIs, what do you think about? Do you think it's only gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, and all?
They
No,
have no clue.
there are STIs that come from viruses, There's HIV, there's herpes. Those are virus-caused STIs. So the truth and the fact is that Amplicox does not prevent STI. What prevents STI is using protection in form of barrier, which is condom. Okay, that
Yeah.
can prevent STIs up to a very high percentage, as long as there's nothing wrong with the integrity of the condom. But taking one capsule of Amplicox will not prevent STI for you.
Absolutely.
Get down.
People don't even know this.
Down.
And sometimes they may be pregnant and they keep on taking all these drugs that end up messing up with the baby.
Yeah, that they end up messing up what?
I said there are sometimes these guys might not be aware they are even pregnant after having unprotected sex repeatedly. And they keep on taking these drugs and it ends up affecting the baby.
Yes, yes. It doesn't prevent pregnancy, yeah. So you might get pregnant and keep taking these medications that will affect your fetus. Apart from that, what about antimicrobial resistance over time? So
True.
If it worked in the past,
And
maybe if it worked in the past, I'm sure that this century, this age, it doesn't work anymore. Because antimicrobial resistance has really developed, especially to simple antibiotics like penicillin, Amplicox. So please, they are not preventing any STI with Amplicox.
And I feel there should be more awareness about this antibiotic resistance because they are not only affecting themselves, they might end up affecting the whole, everybody around them.
About it extensively on a recent episode on my podcast. Guys,
okay.
Listen to that. Sorry, Femi, but this is just like a promotion for that.
Yeah, I will drop a link for that in the description.
Yeah, on Spotify, Apple Podcast. Just go on your podcast hosting channel and search for Aunty Pharmacist Podcast. Antimicrobial resistance. Listen to it. It doesn't only affect you that you are taking it. It affects your environment. People that have never even tasted it or live in the same community as you can transfer that resistance. So we should be very careful about our consumption of antibiotics. Because care is not taken. The diseases that we can cure today, they'll become incurable in the nearest future. We are not careful.
Okay. So that will bring us to the end of this video. Thank you, Gbemi. It was fun having you on my channel. And I always love to have you back. Thanks for dropping all those truth bombs.
You're welcome. Against all odds, we were able to do it. And I hope that I'll be back on your channel.
Yeah.
So nice to be here.
Surely.
And guys, please continue watching the Femi Davies channel on YouTube.
Thank you.
Interesting content.
Thank you. I'll be dropping our links in the description. Please do show our love. Thank you for coming on, Gbemi.
for having
Please
me.
like, comment, and subscribe. Oh. I don't say that enough.
What?
No, I'm talking to my viewers. But tell them to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, so please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that. Please do that.
Yeah.
Be glad you did.